Hello everyone and welcome to Gierok Farms. In today's video we are going to be making some corn stalk bedding. Yesterday we just finished up with picking corn. All of the corn cribs are full, which is a super good feeling. We do have some standing corn left. There'll be some combining in a couple weeks from now, but the sun's shining and we're gonna try to take advantage of it and at least get some bedding made. I don't think all of it's ready to go yet, but we're gonna try to chop some direct right into the flail chopper, into the chopper boxes, and make a little pile here in the yard. Currently, Dad's running around with the skid steer moving his log pile to make room for some bedding over there. That seems to be a good spot to store it there in the yard. Nice and close to the buildings, yet not taking up some shed space. As for the future, as for the rest of the bedding, there's some rain in the forecast here this week. So hopefully after that we get another dry spell. We can get some of our corn stalks round baled. That would be ideal. That's been working out really well for us. So we don't want to chance it and put all our eggs in one basket. So we're going to try to chop some today direct and put it on a nice little pile. At least we'll have some to get us a little closer into winter here. So that's the plan. He's gonna keep moving that pile. I'm gonna grab the 7810. It's already hooked up to the chopper. Get that ready, go grab a chopper box, and then we'll probably be starting in here. We had things packed in here pretty dang tight. I'll get it outside here, hook up the hydraulics, get everything ready to go before I take off to that other shed. Make sure she's greased. Just give it a good look over. I got the 7405 by the door ready to take the weights off. If things go well, we'll be putting the loader on this to help push it up onto a pile, get it nice and tall. But in case it's too wet, we won't jump into that right away. Okay, so I think I got all my electronics and my hydraulics hooked up right. I noticed when I went to run my hydraulics, we got a leak here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to tighten that fitting in order to get that to stop. I think last year I remember it leaking some on us too. Okay, the flail chopper is greased, oiled, and appears to be ready to go. I am headed to our other shed to grab an empty chopper box, and then we'll come up here and start in. But before things get too crazy, I wanted to let you guys know, if you haven't already, go check out our store. We are now selling these Gierok Farm hats. You may have seen us wearing them for over the past year now. They fit great, they're high quality. We got them in multiple different colors. We got them in black, white, red, blue, green. So if you're interested, go check out GierokFarms.com and get yourself a hat. We would greatly appreciate it. do that again today. When I was coming up the hill there, I went to make a left turn, and instead of putting a whole lot of, I didn't want to put a lot of pressure on the PTO shaft and the whole drive line. So then I shut the PTO off, and then that's when I plugged her. I say keep it running, even if I'm making some sharper turns. I'll just idle down just to keep everything moving, because the flail chopper coasts to a stop, and I found that out the hard way. Another disadvantage of doing this, as you can see, that even if I have it off the ground, any type of slope, this flail chopper gets pushed pretty easy. It's a pretty light unit. It's not ideal for driving around in these hills. We'll try not to plug again. I guess I just wanted to give the corn stalks a couple more minutes to dry. We'll keep moving along. Live and you learn, I guess. Load number 2, things are going a lot smoother, getting the hang of things. Just was up on the hill, being I was lighter with the new empty box. Now we'll mess around down here on the bottom, work our way around. Things are moving now. Had to stop at the end of the field here. I gotta clean my windows. It's so dusty with the way the sun hits them, I can't see a dang thing going one way. The first time plugged up again, this time just feeding it too fast, pushing it too hard. Oh yeah. I think I plugged from the auger into there this time. Our spout's pretty clean. Oh man, I'll learn here eventually, I guess. Now let's try not to plug again. Just a combination of going too fast, and I was looking in there, I must have hit a clump of wet grass too. It was pretty damp what I was pulling out of there. Just gonna have to raise my head some more and slow down a little. It's not as dry as we'd like, but some of it's okay and some of it's wet, so. We're moving again. But as I was saying, it's not quite yet dry enough, but it's kind of a timing thing where we're worried if we don't get a little now, might not get a second chance later on here this fall. And we're getting kind of low on accessible bedding for the fall here, so this pile will just use up right away, which is probably better, man. It's a little raw. But we'll keep on plugging away and update you once we get a little further into things. This is going to be for the heifer barns. I mean, don't have to be perfect. And if it heats a little bit out here on this pile, well, that's nothing new for this hay burning, and it'll steam a lot, it'll get hot, it'll turn black. I've seen that when I was a kid. One year my dad, I was pretty young, I mean, I was only about 10 years old and all, but I know it was Christmas vacation, and there was a little snow on the ground even. Not very much, a couple inches, very cold. He didn't have any bedding or not much, so we chopped about 10 loads or something like this. And it made bedding, but inside that pile towards spring when we got in there, it was just like ashes. But it was out in the edge of a field near the buildings. It wasn't in the buildings or anything like that. He had to do what he had to do, get some bedding. Kind of look at the dust and the leaves flying out of there. I mean, it kind of tells you it's reasonably dry. Where the water is in the stump, like right down at the very bottom of the plant. That hole in there where you hook up is very small. It's got to be just right or it's not going in.
taking out the back cut. It looks like we're gonna get it today. Seems like when he started it, plug up, and I think he's just getting used to that machine. I used to do this with the MTA. This tractor on that flail, well, and that's my third one. My first two were used quite a bit, so they didn't last, but anyway, that one I bought new. That's got to be 15 years now. We haven't been using it nearly as much the last several years. We've been getting that round baling done. So I don't know if he explained it, but the way we used to do this, we would set our Kiwani elevator up, you know, same machine we used to put the corn in the crib. We just put those plates back in so those grates are covered. But, you know, after about 5-6 loads on the ground like this, we would, you know, stack this thing up just like get it up there like 30 feet and really make a nice round pile. And then you get up there with a fork and you'd go around the edges and kind of make like an edge. I mean, we did this when I was kids a lot, and we'd do like 3 of them. It's almost like 3 pyramids. It's very hard on the elevator. You know, there's a little bit of grit in there. Years ago, there wasn't so much stay reading in the corn. You could pick corn and a few days later, you had some pretty dry bedding. It doesn't work like that anymore. So now you pretty much got to shred it on the ground and have some nice days, rake it up and bale or run it back through that machine even. This is gonna be all right for this 6 acres. Maybe have you guys ride the loader here. Just don't get lost.